the 100% Real Podcast. Today, we have here, I messed that all up. Today, we have here Art the Clown, known as David Howard Thornton. What's going on, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, man?
I've been doing good. I just me and my brother we watched the Terrifier the other night. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that last part. I just heard that you and your brother watched Terrifier the other night.
Yeah.
That's great. Was that your first time seeing it, or had you seen it?
I think that was his first time. I think that was my third time watching it.
Oh, okay, cool. So how did he fare?
He couldn't take it. He couldn't take it.
Then we did our job.
So, how's everything going with you during this time of quarantine and coronavirus and stuff going on?
It's going as well as it can be right now. It's just like I'm this, month 4 now that we're on of this, so it's just like, oh geez. Yeah, I do what I can. I've been excuse me. Yeah. Well, a little caught up there. I've been just pretty much been cooped up inside my apartment these past 4 months. So I've been watching a lot of films and playing a lot of video games recently. So doing a lot of catch up.
What's your favorite video game that you're playing right now?
Right now, I just started playing the Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh, nice. I haven't played it yet, but I heard it's pretty good.
On PlayStation 4. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It is like one of the most gorgeous games I've ever played. It's just like, wow. It gets me excited about what's going to be coming out in the next generation of systems. If they're able to pull this off on a PlayStation 4, I'm like, man, what are they going to be able to pull off on PS5?
Exactly. Yeah. I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, I might get it. I might not get it. I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I strongly recommend getting it. It's a lot of fun too, like the duels and stuff like that. All the combat, it's a lot of fun.
So, I know you were in the Terrifier, and I know you're in the Terrifier 2. You just have to be in the Terrifier 2. You have to be.
Of course.
you gotta continue the path of destruction.
Yeah, you got to. I'm not giving that guy up yet. I mean, he's too much fun to play.
So walk me through like a day on set of the Terrifier, the first one, if you remember some things about it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much I have to show up before anybody else does in the cast and crew. It's Damien and I that arrive on set like an hour or 2 or 3 sometimes before everybody else, because it takes about 3 hours to put all my makeup on. And so it's like that's kind of exhausting in itself. So it's a lot of just Damien and I just having time together. So we've got to know each other so well during all this, because all that. It's like I spent well over 100 or so hours in that makeup chair alone with Damien. So we're like family now.
Yeah.
So I get on set, finally get the makeup. Then I usually just sit there for a while they set up all the shots and stuff like that. And sometimes they have to film other scenes first before they get to me, but they have to do all my stuff first because Damien has to be on set for everything, and Damien does my makeup. So there's a lot of sitting around and waiting for me. But once I get on set, it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing that. It can be a little bit, tiring at times, especially when it's cold, because when you're covered in all that blood, it just makes it worse. So it's just like, yeah, but you deal with it. You deal with it. I haven't had it as bad as some of our cast members, though. Well, I'll take that back. I've had a few nights where I was pretty much naked, having to wear blood. So that was pretty brutal too. So, and I feel sorry for everybody that had to see that scene. I'm like, oh, you signed up to see other people naked, not me naked.
Oh, so what's your favorite scene of the Terrifier?
I would say that would be the pizzeria scene. I think that is just a great scene in the film because it sets up everything you need to know about the character. You don't have to have any of his backstory or anything like that. You know everything you need to know about that character from that one scene alone. Just you see so many different facets of who he is. You see his playful side. You see that creepy side to him. Then you later on just see that just outright malicious and evil, brutal
Oh
side
yeah.
of him when he goes and just kills everybody in there. I'm like, it's a great scene. It's got some great little moments in there, a lot of funny moments. It's got some scary moments,
Hmm.
and I got to play around a lot with that scene too. That Damien gave me a lot of free range to like improvise and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed doing that scene.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Um, so with well, does the Terrifier 2 have a release date yet, or?
Not yet. We originally wanted to aim for October of this year, but that was
Mhm.
well before the pandemic
Yeah,
happened,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we didn't. No one anticipated all this craziness to happen, so that kind of slowed things down for us because we were almost finished filming. I think maybe we had like a week or two left of filming to do
Hmm.
when we had to go in lockdown here in New York City,
Ah.
and it's just like, but luckily we finished probably one of the biggest set pieces in the film, like literally the week of the whole right
Huh.
when the leading up to the lockdown. So we got the hardest stuff finished. It's like what kills him or something like that. So that's the easy stuff now. So
Mhm.
we're almost finished, and Damien's been really busy editing everything that we've already shot. And so like I think the part that's going to take the longest to get it out is trying to find whoever's going to put this out there to the world. However, we're going to just distribute it. So we don't know if it's going to go in theaters yet, or if we're just going to do like we did last time and release it on DVD and Blu-ray, and also on streaming platforms and
Mhm.
Netflix, hopefully. But it'll get there. I do know that if we had to go to theaters and we had to get an MPAA rating,
Yeah.
we would definitely be getting a hard NC-17 rating. No doubt. No doubt in the least this would be just for the first few minutes of the film alone. It would be like, okay, NC-17, no problem.
I
We
love it,
have
man. I
not
love it.
pulled back. Yeah, we are not pulling back from all the gore and all that kind of stuff at all. I think we're pushing ourselves because we feel like we have to try to surpass what we
The,
did in the first one,
oh
especially
yeah,
that Hacksaw scene.
because you said so. Like the standards are like so high now because
Yeah,
of what the first one was like. He's like, how do we top this?
yeah. Always the hard part about doing these things. Like when you do something and you're already up there, and it's just like, oh God, we set the bar high. Oh
Yeah.
no. How are we gonna do? How are we gonna up top ourselves now? So that's what we're attempting, and I think we've pretty much done it. It's just like I think this film is just a fun film. It's there's so many things that I still can't talk about yet
Yeah.
that wasn't even seen in the trailer that we released recently. It's just there's so many things, characters that have not been revealed yet either.
Oh my gosh, there's new characters.
Oh yeah, oh
Oh
yeah.
yes.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's this one character especially that a lot of people are gonna be like WTF about. So yeah, yeah.
So if 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 Pennywise and Art had a battle, who do you think would win?
Oh, art. No problem there. Because Pennywise banks on fear. That's how he gets people.
Hmm.
He's like he feeds off of fear. And Art is pretty much fearless. He doesn't really. There's nothing really that phases him. He's just brutal. He's evil and sadistic. And I think, you know, that would probably be the one time Art would actually talk. And it would be to trash talk
Yeah,
Pennywise.
that would. I was like, how come he doesn't talk?
Yeah, yeah. I think that would be the one time you would ever hear him talk. He's like, "You're such a loser. You're not even a real clown. You're a
Oh my
fake clown.
gosh.
You're a poser, loser. Got beaten by kids, loser. You
Oh
got
my
beaten by
gosh.
the losers club, loser."
so, so I heard you said you're living in New York now.
Yes, yeah.
So have you been to any like New York Comic Cons or anything like that?
I haven't been to New York Comic Con yet, but I have done some of the other smaller cons around here, like Big Apple Con and Winter Con and stuff like that. But one day I hope to get to New York Comic Con. Every year when I want to do it, something always gets in the way. It's just it's so annoying.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
yeah, something's always like, it was like back in the day when I was waiting tables, I would always have to work that day, or I had to do some project that day, or something always would interfere with that convention. I was like, oh man, one day, I would especially love to be a guest there one day. That
Oh
would be awesome.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was about to ask you. Like, have you been like a guest on it, or any like a guest on like a panel or anything like that? That's why that was
Not
my
not
next
at that
question.
one. Yeah, but I mean, I've done a lot of other conventions and done a lot of panels. That was actually something that was a goal of mine, because I was a con fan before I was, as a guest at cons. I was going to conventions and
Hmm.
stuff like that, and especially I'd cosplay as Joker a lot and stuff like that, and that was always a goal of mine, was to be on that other side of the table at the
Yeah,
conventions, doing autographs one day, or doing the Q&A sessions and stuff like that. Because it's like I think it's a fun way to really interact with your fans and stuff
for
like that.
sure, for sure. Um, what is your favorite horror movie of all time?
Ooh, I don't have an absolute favorite. That's because there are just so many good ones out there. But I'm also the same way with comedies. There's so many good ones out there. I don't have my one all-time favorite film of all time would be Who
Hmm.
Framed Roger Rabbit, because that's got everything I like in a film.
Hmm.
But I can't say that about just a certain genre of films. But
Yeah,
I would say my top five for
yeah.
horror would be, in no particular order: original Halloween, The Omen, Exorcist. How was that? The original Omen, Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original
Oh
one,
yeah.
and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors.
Nice. I think mine would have to be ah. I'll put The Grudge up there at number one because that was the movie that pretty much scarred me when I was a kid. So that was at the
Yeah.
top for sure.
Have you seen the original, like the Japanese version?
I have not.
Oh, it's even freakier.
I gotta watch it then. I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
I put Conjuring 2
Hmm.
and then probably The Cult of Chucky.
That was actually a surprisingly good movie. It
It
was
was.
like that was a really creative, very meta one too. That was like, what, that went to some interesting places, and I
Oh
love
yeah.
that, like Fiona and Brad are doing a film together, and then she gets taken over by her dad's spirit. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I don't really like the newer Child's Play. It's kind
Yeah,
of weird because
that's not to me a child's play movie.
it's
That was just
not.
like I mean, no disrespect, if that had just been another new character, I would have been totally like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is a good movie. But as a child's play movie, that wasn't a child's play movie, because that was not Chucky.
No.
Chucky's not a rogue AI. Chucky is a guy, a Satanist that put his soul into this doll to try to
Yeah.
escape the police. It's just like that. That's Chucky, and that's so much scarier to me. It's like, yeah, why didn't they just do another, like, just make a new franchise off of a rogue AI like that? That would have totally worked, and I would have been, oh, this is great.
And I think that's how a lot of people feel about that movie. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I mean, there's some people that genuinely like the movie, and
yeah,
then there's some that have their opinions on it. Like that
yeah.
I was trash. I was
Yeah, see, as a movie itself, it was great. It
yeah
was a great horror movie. I did some really fun, creative things, especially, him like taking control of all the things and the store and stuff like that. I was like,
yeah
that's
yeah.
kind of cool, but I'm like, but it's not Chucky.
It's
It's
not.
like, yeah,
It was Buddy.
yeah, it was Buddy.
um, what's your favorite horror character? Like, who's your favorite character? As
Oh,
far as
that's easy. Freddy Krueger. It's like, I think that is like the most creative horror villain ever created, because he's just, first of all, he's fun to watch.
yeah.
He's so charismatic, but he's scary as hell too. But then he's like, unlike other horror characters, like, Mike Myers and Jason, all those guys,
Hmm.
they're all based in the physical world. So you can get away from them if you really wanted to. You could get in the car and drive the heck out of Dodge,
Exactly.
get in a plane, fly to another country, get away from them. Freddy, you can't. He's in your dreams.
Oh yeah.
You can't escape him that way. You have to fall asleep or you'll
Yeah.
die. So it's like, and that's freaky in itself because like that you can't escape him. And then the whole premise of him having control over dreams that lends infinite possibilities of what you can do with the character. It's
Yeah.
like you can literally come up with any scenario and you can do it because it takes place in a dream. So it's like that's it's brilliant characters like Wes Craven, great job.
Um. So I think we could wrap it up here.
All right.
Thank you so much for being on the 100% Real podcast. Stay safe and hopefully talk to you soon.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me. And you stay safe as well, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Take care, man.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.